There are 5 specific recreational vehicle manufacturing lines that independent mechanics have quietly blacklisted in 2026, and you need to see the service records before you sign a financing contract. Do you know which popular toy hauler is currently suffering from freshwater tanks physically shearing off their mounts at highway speeds? Do you know which luxury icon is leaving the factory with leaking rivets because of thermal expansion issues the engineers ignored? Or which heritage brand has become a zombie shell, selling you a generic frame wrapped in a nostalgic sticker? In this audit, we are going to dismantle the marketing illusion to expose the systemic engineering failures of the worst offenders. By cross-referencing 10 years of National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recall data with thousands of recent lemon law filings, we have uncovered a disturbing pattern of calculated negligence that the industry monopoly hopes you never notice. We are not talking about bad luck. We are talking about structural obsolescence designed into the blueprints. If you are currently battling a manufacturer over a defect they claim is within tolerance, drop a comment below with the brand name and the specific part that failed. We are building a public ledger of these incidents to warn the next buyer, and your data point could save someone's retirement savings. 1. Keystone. First on the forensic blacklist is Keystone, a subsidiary of the Thor Industries conglomerate. According to independent service center reports, these units currently suffer from the highest documented rate of a terminal structural condition known as delamination. To the untrained eye, this manifests as cosmetic bubbling on the sidewall, but physically, it is a catastrophic separation of the vehicle's skin from its skeleton. Keystone relies on a laminated wall design where a thin layer of fiberglass is bonded to a backing material. In a competent engineering environment, you would use a synthetic composite substrate impervious to moisture. However, to prioritize margins, Keystone utilizes a cheap wood product known as Luan plywood. The critical engineering failure here lies in the chemistry. The adhesive used to bond these layers is often water-soluble. The moment a roof seal develops a microscopic hairline fracture, an inevitability as the unit vibrates down the highway, water migrates into the wall sandwich and chemically dissolves the glue. The Luan rot begins from the inside out, and by the time you see external bubbles, the wall has already lost its structural integrity. But the negligence extends beneath the floorboards. We have analyzed countless reports of freshwater tanks physically detaching from Keystone units at highway speeds. When you fill a standard tank, you are adding hundreds of pounds of dynamic load. Instead of securing this mass with structural bolts, forensic inspection reveals these tanks are often held in place by thin metal straps attached with non-structural self-tapping screws. Under the stress of travel, these screws simply shear off, sending your water supply crashing onto the asphalt. You are not just buying a trailer that rots. You are buying a road hazard held together by hardware that would be insufficient for a kitchen cabinet. 2. Heartland. Next on the forensic audit is Heartland Recreational Vehicles, a brand currently plagued by a catastrophic structural failure mode known in the industry as frame flex. This is particularly prevalent in their massive fifth-wheeled toy haulers, vehicles designed to carry heavy cargo but built on a skeleton that is mathematically insufficient for the load. The physics of this failure are terrifying. Frame flex occurs when the welds holding the front cap of the trailer to the sidewalls literally snap under the kinetic stress of towing. You do not need an X-ray machine to detect this. You just need to look at the silicone seal where the side molding meets the front cap. If you see that seal splitting or separating, it is not a cosmetic flaw. It is evidence that the metal structure underneath is moving independently of the walls. The root cause is a decision made in an accounting office, not an engineering lab. To save weight and raw material costs, manufacturers have systematically reduced the gauge of the steel in the frame, making the metal thinner, while simultaneously marketing trailers that are larger and heavier than ever before. They are pushing the steel beyond its fatigue limit. Fixing this requires stripping the entire front skin off the unit to re-weld the chassis, a surgical repair that frequently costs upwards of $10,000. When you buy a Heartland, you are betting your bank account that the steel gauge is thick enough to handle the torque. A bet the data suggests you will lose. 3. Forest River. Third on the docket is Forest River, specifically their high-volume entry-level lines like Cherokee and Salem. While other brands fail due to bad materials, Forest River fails due to a perverse economic equation known as piece rate pay. Unlike the automotive industry, where workers are generally paid by the hour to ensure precision, the labor force here is paid solely by how many units they push out the door every single day. The forensic evidence of this negligence is often sealed inside the walls of your vehicle. We have documented reports of owners opening up their cabinetry to find construction refuse, such as sawdust, empty glue bottles, and even half-eaten sandwiches entombed forever behind the panels because the crew did not have the 60 seconds required to sweep the floor. But the trash is just the symptom. The pathology is in the systems. We routinely inspect electrical wires that have been stapled directly through the center of the insulation, creating a dormant fire hazard, simply because the installer did not have time to route them around the frame. We see plumbing lines kinked at 90-degree angles behind the shower wall because routing them correctly would have cost the worker $1. When you buy a Forest River Cherokee, you are not buying a carefully crafted home. You are buying a product that was assembled as fast as physically possible with zero regard for whether it survives the warranty period. 4. Jayco. Fourth is Jayco, which is perhaps the most tragic name on this list because it used to represent the gold standard of American quality. For decades, this was an independent family-owned fortress that prided itself on Amish craftsmanship. Owners of units built in the 1990s will tell you they are built like tanks and rarely suffer catastrophic failure. But that era ended abruptly in 2016 when the company was acquired by the Thor Industries monopoly. Since that acquisition, the unique culture of quality control has been systematically eroded and replaced by a corporate mandate for higher quarterly margins. The modern units rolling off the line today are effectively zombie trailers, generic Thor chassis wearing a Jayco skin. Our inspection of these post-2016 models reveals the exact same cost-cutting measures found in the cheapest brands. Cabinet frames held together by staples instead of screws, and plastic plumbing fittings that crack after a single freeze cycle. Do not be seduced by the nostalgia of the logo. The company that built your grandfather's trailer ceased to exist 10 years ago. 5. Airstream Modern Line. The final entry is the most controversial because it targets an American icon, the modern Airstream. This brand charges a luxury tax that pushes prices north of $150,000. But since its acquisition by Thor Industries, the engineering audit reveals a product that is failing in the exact same ways as a $20,000 disposable trailer. The fundamental flaw is the physics of the material itself. That signature aluminum shell is highly reactive to temperature. It expands in the sun and contracts in the cold. Unless every single rivet is installed with aerospace-level perfection, a standard that vanished when the private equity model took over, the vibration of the road will cause them to weep. We are seeing brand new units with water-damaged subfloors because the metal skin is literally moving independently of the frame. When you buy a modern Airstream, you are purchasing a status symbol, not a fortress. You are paying for the reflection in the polished aluminum, while the water is quietly destroying the floor beneath you. The data is unequivocal. The modern RV market is a minefield designed to extract your wealth. But that does not mean you should abandon the open road. It means you must stop shopping like a consumer and start thinking like an auditor. Avoid the brands we expose today and pivot to the safe list. Look for a pre-2020 Tiffin that has already taken its depreciation hit. Seek out a factory direct Lazy Days with replaceable aluminum skins, or import a commercial-grade Japanese diesel built to survive the apocalypse. When you buy a commercial vehicle, you are buying a tool. When you buy a modern RV, you are buying a disposable toy. Stop rewarding these massive corporations for cutting corners. If you want to know the specific model years of the Toyota Hiace that are legal to import right now, hit that subscribe button and check our next investigation. Do not let them use your retirement savings as their R&D budget.